Birds of prey have evolved many special adaptations to enable them to hunt, fly at speed with agility, and live in specific habitats like woodlands or on cliff tops. In this video, we will look at some of these adaptations. First, we're going to look at feathers. Birds use feathers for keeping warm, for camouflage, for displaying and showing off, and most importantly, for flight. Feathers are made of keratin, the same substance as our fingernails. The central shaft of the feather and the veins are all hollow. The feathery ends themselves are linked together with little hooks called barbules, which work like Velcro. You may have seen birds tidying up their feathers with their beaks. What they're doing is zipping up the Velcro barbules. Holding the base, or quill, of a feather and moving it through the air illustrates how good the shape of a feather is at generating lift. So why do birds need feathers? Raptors often fly at high speed, sometimes through trees or diving to land on their prey at high speed. These movements put large stresses on the wings. If the bird's wings were covered in a thin skin, like a bat's, these stresses could easily tear the wing. Keratin is a lot more hardy and gives the bird's feathers a great deal of protection. We're going to look at some of the lifestyle adaptations birds of prey have evolved to allow them to hunt. Owls generally eat voles, mice, squirrels, and rabbits. These rodents are nocturnal, which is why owls hunt at dusk and dawn, as they're most likely to find a meal at these times. Rodents protect themselves from predators by having good eyesight and hearing. So owls have developed silent flight to overcome their prey's excellent senses. Owls have large wings and small bodies, so they have a large wing-to-body ratio. This means that they're able to glide as much as possible, reducing the sound made by flapping their wings. Owls, as nocturnal hunters, also have an adaptation to the edge of their primary flight feathers that helps them stay quiet in flight. They have small fringes along the edge of their feathers that are a bit like tiny teeth. When the owl flies, these tiny teeth comb through the air and break apart the air into tiny pockets called microturbulences. The air turbulence around these little air pockets make less noise than the turbulence associated with a solid edge at the wing boundary. The fringes act to quieten the sound of the air rushing over the wing, allowing the owl to fly silently. This is also why golf balls have little dimples on them. It reduces turbulence and makes the ball go further. And it also has an adaptation found elsewhere in nature: shark skin. Shark skin is made of microscopic tooth-like scales, which reduces water turbulence over the shark skin, making them very efficient swimmers and hunters. Humans have evolved dense, nearly solid bones to give us strength, but it makes us quite heavy. This doesn't matter too much as our muscles are strong enough to run, climb, and throw. But raptors need to fly in order to hunt, so heavy bones would be a disaster. All those light and strong feathers have to be connected to a light skeleton as well to allow for flight. The bird skeleton is lightweight but strong enough to withstand the stresses of taking off, flying, and landing. Hunting and catching prey also causes extra stress, and raptors have adapted accordingly. Just like their feathers, birds have bones which are hollow but strong. An eagle-like Midas weighs about the same as an adult cat, and comparing eagle bones with cat bones shows that when there is bone, it is denser than the raptor, but unlike in a cat, in the centre of a raptor bone is an air-filled hollow, reducing weight. The number of hollow bones varies among bird species. Large gliding and soaring birds tend to have the most hollow bones. And we use this light and strong engineering technique when making bats, rackets and clubs, the frames of bicycles and scaffolding, all of which are hollow tubes to save weight. But bird bones are not completely hollow. They contain lots of criss-crossing fibres called struts. This adds extra strength where needed for very little extra weight. Fuel tanks on rockets used by NASA have similar inner honeycomb structures to make them strong and light too. Raptor beaks and bills are adapted for weight efficiency as well. Rather than having a heavy jaw with teeth, a beak is much better. The beaks of eagles, falcons and vultures are strong and curved, ending in a sharp point. They're adapted for tearing flesh into easy to swallow chunks. Raptor beaks can also pierce and remove fur and feathers from prey. Falcons have an additional adaptation called a tomial tooth on the upper part of their beak, which they can use to sever their prey's vertebrae. It fits in the gap between a mammal's vertebrae and can be used to quickly kill the animal by severing its spinal cord. Owls, however, have different beaks to eagles, falcons and vultures. They have a shorter beak, which is curved downwards with a hook. Owls don't need a strong hooked beak like an eagle for tearing food apart, because they swallow their food whole. The other critical body part raptors use for hunting and killing are their strong, sharp talons. A raptor's talons immediately reminds us that birds are avian dinosaurs. They're covered in scales with 4 toes, 3 facing forwards and 1 backwards, each with a strong and sharp curved claw. Busby the buzzard has short, thick toes and powerful talons, which suits hunting small mammals. Buzzards will either spot their prey from a perch and fly down to it, or soar over open terrain before dropping to the ground feet first. Marsh harriers such as Evie have longer legs than buzzards, which enable them to swoop around wetlands to pick up lizards. Peregrine falcons hunt on the wing, catching birds to eat in mid-air. To give them the best chance of making the catch, they have long, slim toes, giving them a large grasp for a small bird. Let's look at how raptors move their bodies when they catch their prey to enable them to use their talons to maximum effect. Raptors thrust their feet forwards towards their prey just before they try to catch it. This means the bird's talons are accelerating forwards faster than their body in the moment they strike. Studies with trackers have shown that the raptor's pelvis accelerates up to 40% faster than the bird's head, and its feet 65% faster just before the catch. This last-minute burst of acceleration applied to the leg gives their lunch even less chance to escape. Birds of prey are well known for having amazing eyesight. It's said that an eagle can see a rabbit moving from 2 miles away, but their eyesight adaptations involve far more than just seeing a long way. When we compare the heads of small-sized birds, raptors have unusually large eyeballs, with irises that can open wide to let in more light, enabling them to see in greater detail. Raptors' larger eyeballs mean the retina at the back of the eye, which turns light into images, can fit in far more sensing cells. Buzzards have been found to have 5 times as many sensing cells in their eyes compared to humans. Like in a phone camera, more sensors means higher resolution images. The central point in our retina is called the fovea, and it's where the sensory cells are most tightly packed. Humans have 1 fovea, but raptors have 2. This means that they can see very well, not just in front of them, but to the sides as well. Their peripheral vision is excellent, and each of the bird's eyes have 170 degrees of vision, which leaves a 70-degree blind spot behind the bird. And to overcome this, some birds have yet another amazing adaptation. Owls' eyes are so big that they can't actually move their eyeballs in their sockets. However, they can turn their head 270 degrees. When you add the 170-degree vision arc of each eye, this allows owls to see in 360 degrees. Some birds of prey can also see a greater range of spectrum of light than humans can. This is because they have a very specialist type of photoreceptor cell in their eyes, and these cells are used to detect UV light, which helps them hunt. From sharp beaks to fearsome talons, amazing senses, fantastic flying skills, and lightweight, agile bodies, birds of prey have evolved an extraordinary range of adaptations that allow them to hunt, eat, survive, and thrive.